You're listening to an African Elements top news story for July 28, 2025. Please visit our website at africanelements.org for more daily news. Lawrence and Abby Butler are suing Southern Cremations and Funerals in Georgia and Nix and Nix Funeral Homes in Philadelphia after allegedly receiving their deceased son, Timothy Garlington's brain in a leaking box. The couple claims the unmarked box began to smell and leak fluid in their car. The lawsuit accuses the funeral homes of negligence and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Negligence refers to a failure to exercise reasonable care, while intentional infliction of emotional distress alleges extreme conduct causing severe emotional harm. The owner of Nix and Nix stated employees did not know there was brain matter in the box, which allegedly leaked days after the Butlers received it. The Georgia State Board of Funeral Services investigated but did not revoke or suspend any licenses, and the findings remain private. The family's attorney, L. Chris Stewart, emphasized that separating and shipping the brain in such a manner deviates from standard protocols. In a separate incident, Tabitha Worrell filed a lawsuit against Snelling Funeral Home in Chesapeake, Virginia, after discovering her deceased son, Torian Williams' body covered in maggots at his viewing. Worrell's son died in a car accident, and she had paid $3,000 for sanitary care and dressing. Mourners noticed the facility was warm and the doors were open, which can accelerate decomposition and insect activity. Proper embalming, refrigeration, and sealed conditions are essential to prevent such occurrences. Snelling Funeral Home is part of the Holloman Brown family of funeral homes, raising questions about oversight and adherence to standards. Funeral homes have a legal and ethical obligation to handle remains with dignity and respect. Negligence can manifest in various ways, including misplacing remains or improper embalming. Legal consequences for negligent funeral homes can include lawsuits, regulatory complaints, and sanctions from state boards, ranging from fines to license suspensions. Extreme cases can lead to criminal charges. Approximately 3,500 complaints of funeral home negligence are filed annually in the U.S., indicating systemic issues. About 10% of U.S. funeral homes have been cited for violations. The Federal Trade Commission's funeral rule ensures transparency and fair practices in the funeral industry. It requires itemized price lists and prohibits misrepresentation of legal requirements. Understanding this rule helps families navigate funeral arrangements and prevents unnecessary charges. Families suspecting negligence can seek legal assistance and file complaints with state regulatory boards, which oversee compliance with laws. Investigations can lead to disciplinary actions against negligent funeral homes. The emotional impact on families experiencing mishandling of remains is profound. Incidents like receiving a deceased son's brain in a leaking box or finding a body covered in maggots inflict additional trauma. This trauma can lead to severe emotional distress, anxiety, and depression. Families often feel re-victimized and robbed of their ability to grieve properly. The legal term, intentional infliction of emotional distress, captures this suffering but does not fully encompass the human experience. These cases highlight the need for funeral homes to uphold high standards of care for both the deceased and the emotional well-being of grieving families. To prevent such incidents, funeral homes must adhere to strict protocols for handling and transporting remains. This includes proper embalming techniques to delay decomposition and maintaining climate-controlled environments to prevent decay. High standards of cleanliness are essential to avoid contamination and pest infestations. Strict chain of custody procedures must be followed when transporting remains, ensuring that every transfer is documented and verified. The attorney's statement about the improper handling of the brain underscores the need for adherence to professional standards, which are fundamental to respectful treatment of the deceased and the peace of mind of grieving families. Copyright African Elements.